This is Garden Spike's Prematch Show. It's only, gets ready to take on the Necaxa on the opening match, their opening match. It's about their Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So it's Tyler with you as we get ready for the match this evening. And Tyler, what looks like it will be a very thin crowd on this Wednesday night as the Necaxa is in town. Let's get into the lineup. The grass looks nice behind you, by the way.
Yeah, very pretty, very emerald green, mostly. You can tell it's fresh.
Yeah.
There's some spots that I'm curious about because they're a little brown on the edges, and I'm wondering if that's gonna be remedied and grown in better. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It is here, by the way, as most of you know, for the summer series. So this match is coming up over the weekend, after which the grass really ripped out and first we put that down on the stadium floor. So just a little note there. We got some lineups, Tyler. We got them pretty early. And that is because I think you're going to be starting right at 7:30 tonight rather than 7:40. But
Yay!
yeah, exactly. But the only change from Saturday is Ray starting in place of many a lucky lot up top for Lincoln United. Everything else is the same. That's the only change and the big change. What are your thoughts?
I actually think it's effective. I think it needs to happen, right? Like Lata's got to find something that works for him. And if coming on late in a game to run at really tired legs with how fast he is, if that can net him a goal, which would hopefully give him some confidence, then by all means do it. And Jamal Tiara, when he's on, he's been dangerous. I mean, is he the most clinical guy in the world? No. But he's been better than he was last year, I think. And you know what you're getting out of him. He can go out there and do the dirty work for 60, 70 minutes and then bring on Latte Lot.
Yeah. I think the part that surprises me and the part that kind of stuck out to me is, you talk about, obviously Latte Lot has struggled finding back at the net this season with consistency. And if you talk about Alexis Morency, the struggles he has had in 2025, and sort of Zayas hesitancy to put him on the bench, maybe start him on the bench and bring him in later on in matches. So it's kind of what we were talking about after the press box a little bit earlier. I guess that's the big question mark for me. I really agree that you have to watch a lot as a secret sub. Maybe he can have those set in a Necaxa, a team that we would have to mention they're just starting out this season. I think their 3 matches were in 1-1-1 record. So maybe that's a leg up that Atlanta has on the Necaxa, but then again, I have never won a match in this tournament. So hopefully tonight against the Necaxa is the night.
Yeah, and I think there's as frustrating as the Seattle match was, there are things that you can build on. There are things that you can do to maybe give yourself a better chance. Like Necaxa, if I'm not mistaken, they're 1-1-1 in the Apertura down in Liga MX right now. And again, it's far too early in that part of the season to kind of determine what they are for the season. But at this point, 3 games in, you can say, all right, well, they're average, right? They're right in the middle of the table. 1-1, lost 1, and drew 1. So I think from Atlanta's perspective, though, you had some things that worked. You came out against the Seattle team, and you did well in the first half.
Yeah.
You get to the second half, whatever you do in the locker room, do different. I don't care what it is. Do everything opposite in the locker room at halftime. I'm being so serious. Then come out, keep your head screwed on, and again, at that point, you can bring on a guy like Latte Lot. You can bring on some of the new guys, some of the young guys who are on the bench, and see what they're about, see what they can bring. And the biggest problem Atlanta's going to have tonight, in my opinion, is Liga MX, the way that these teams play. They play like big boy football clubs. They are very, very hard to break down, both mentally and physically. But they'll do it to you. And this is going to be the biggest test all season, in my opinion, of just the mental strength of this team.
Yeah. Until this weekend when they play Pumas, and then next week until when they play Atlas, then we'll get another toss. Um, we saw Reynolds lineups, Tyler. We haven't seen the Cactus lineups just yet. And I was looking for those, waiting for those to come out, but we've not seen that. But their key striker, their key player is Keeper Cambindo, I should say, who's from Colombia, was the top scorer last season. Played in, yeah, just, I was going to say played in the Club World Cup. I don't think he did. Played for Queen Jules, what I was trying to say, last season. Got once in the Cup, so scored 14 goals in 32 appearances, and has really been a key player for Necaxa. Has played his way, or has two appearances with the Colombian national team. So I think he's going to be the one that, if you're Atlanta United, you're going to be really need to key in, and that is Cambindo for Necaxa.
Yeah, there's one more. If you've got their recent lineups pulled up, their attacking midfielder, I think his last name starts with a V.
Mm,
I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'm drawing a blank. But
yeah,
he's sitting on a goal and an assist already in 3 games.
right.
So that's, again, 3 games in, not a whole lot to take from that. But the
Calabencio,
guy, yes,
or
if,
Calabencio, so
but yeah, that's it. Yep.
yeah.
But no, he's a guy that he's not super pacey, but he's super shifty on the ball, um, and he's going to bring something that is going to test Sleesh. It's going to give him something to work for. We'll see how it goes, but again, Necaxa's got players that they can make you pay immensely.
Yeah.
But it's that overall mentality that I'm kind of curious about.
Yeah, I mentioned Cambindo. What I meant to say is he played in the All-Star game just last week against MLS in Austin. So if I'm saying this feels familiar to MLS fans, they're watching the match, that's why. Um, but Necaxa, like we said, Tyler, won 1-1 to start the season. And let's take a look at each of their fixtures from this season. Aptorio again, just getting started with 3 matches in. Open against Dominica on July 12th, lost 3-1. Uh, opened the home schedule on July 18th against Querétaro, won that one 3-1, and then drew Club Necaxa 1-1 on Saturday. Zuniga scoring for Club Necaxa, so Cambindo equalizing in 43rd minute for Necaxa. So they're, like you said, 1-1 on the season. One thing that we do need to mention, Tyler, looking back at yesterday's action and Leagues Cup, no MLS teams won in regulation. Columbus lost. Montreal won in penalties, though. NYCFC got blown out. Dynamo got blown out. LAFC lost in penalties. Pachuca beat a 10-man San Diego FC team. So Atlanta United tried to become the first MLS team tonight or in this competition to win a match in regulation. Whether that happens, I don't know. But again, there's a team that's never won, and that's a Leagues Cup. So we'll see. Is this a tournament where Atlanta United can really go all in on and try to get something from this season? I think you kind of do that.
Yeah, and like I agree with what Brian said in the chat. Like they should take this as a new season. We're 0-0. Like go into it. And I agree with like some of the other comments about playing Shankwi, Hibbert, Alfonso Edgar probably does make an appearance. But yeah, I mean, I think like you have to try things out and take this as a completely clean slate. And yeah, I mean, Montreal won last night again in penalties, but they won. Maybe that bodes well for Atlanta, who's also sitting down near them in the table right now. So
Yeah.
uh, I'm curious to see kind of the mentality that they come out with. A few things, too, if y'all don't know, keep an eye on the goalkeeper situation because, um, and maybe this is part of the reason why they didn't change for Hibbert this early on. But you have to remember that the 8-second goalkeeper rule or
Yeah.
the 8-second pickup rule is in effect in this tournament. If the goalkeeper picks up the ball and holds it for longer than 8 seconds, like FIFA, then it's a corner kick.
Mm.
You also have all 3 goalkeepers dressing out in this tournament. There's a couple of other little nuances. But the goalkeeper rule, the 8-second rule, is going to be the one that I think intrigues me the most, because I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on how the dark arts are played come the end of the match.
So the fans
What's
to
that?
see if it's actually. I said so the fans to see if it's actually
Yeah,
enforced.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's one of the rules that we were talking about is going to be in effect for Leagues Cup. It came into effect, Tyler, for Club World Cup, but Leagues Cup will be is making its debut, I should say, and Leagues Cup. One other wrinkle, Tyler, and I noted this yesterday, but we were talking about it earlier. Um, Marco Ortiz is the center referee tonight. And Marco Ortiz, if some of you may remember, I tweeted this out yesterday. He was suspended 6 months back in February for requesting Lionel Messi's autograph after Inter Miami played 40 Kansas City in Champions Cup in February. So he's been referee officiating in Liga MX. So he has been banned from CONCACAF competitions. I don't think, could be wrong, I just don't think Leagues Cup is a CONCACAF competition. I think it is. I actually think it is, but
I mean, it would
he
have to be,
is the
because
referee for me.
it's going to be multiple leagues within the same conference.
Yeah.
I think this is his first game since being suspended for CONCACAF.
Right, first game in the continental
In a
competition because
CONCACAF, yeah, in a CONCACaf competition.
So maybe something to keep an eye on. I feel like the word has got around, I'm sure, but I feel like some fans will be kind of razzing him throughout the night and keeping that in mind. That, hey, this guy asked for Messi's autograph, while they really pull throughout the night. I would imagine he wouldn't officiate any Inter Miami's matches during the tournament for that very reason. But just another twist that we need to mention ahead of the match tonight. Um, let's and Matt asked me, is that the ref who did the U.S. Panama match? That's a good question. We can actually check that right now for you, Matt. Um, I thought it was somebody else. Um,
I thought it was somebody else too that had their own issues going on, but I can't recall.
what's the guy's name? What's the guy's name? I'm looking this up right now.
I'll
But
keep filibustering while you look it up.
yeah, filibuster for me.
One other thing too, I'll throw it out there while I filibuster.
Uh,
Again, grass is here in the bends for summer
yeah.
series, but this will be the first time Atlanta United has ever played on grass in the bends. Not ever, because of Bobby Biden the third, but
Yeah.
at home in the bends specifically.
We'll
So
see if that's an advantage.
advantage or disadvantage, because
Yeah.
it's like, I mean,
Anyway.
you're not used to playing on that kind of surface here. We'll see.
I found the answer. It was Ivan Barton was the referee. Ivan Barton was the referee that went from El Salvador. I knew it was somebody that I was familiar with it. Barton's kind of one of the more notorious officials in CONCACAF. There's O'Shea Nation and John Putti from Panama, names like that. But Ivan Barton was the referee in that match, Matt. So able to check that out. And thanks, Tyler, for filibustering for me. Um, Even though Edgar says filibuster for me sounds crazy. I don't know what that means out here, but
Sounds wild.
yeah. Anyway, let's do predictions. We haven't done predictions. Yeah, again, Atlanta has never won a match in this competition. Necaxa is early in their season, so maybe this is different. Maybe this is different. I don't know. I think it's 2-1 Necaxa. I think Atlanta United, just aren't to the quality of the Cups. I mean, they can't beat the worst teams or teams below them or just above them in the standings or that bottom half of the standings in MLS. I don't expect them to beat a team like Necaxa, who certainly is a terrible team, and you get MAPs. Um, Last season, the Clasica, they came in fifth and then went to the quarterfinals of the Clasica before losing to I want to say Pumas in quarterfinals on away goals. I could be wrong, but um, that was their season last year. But yeah, they like if they are on terrible side by any stretch of imagination. This is a little bit of a transition for them. Fernando Gago is their new manager, and
Yeah.
he's going to be looking to make his entrance on the team as um, the season progresses. So good opportunity still early in the season. And by the way, it was Tigres. They lost in the quarterfinals, but good opportunity for them early in the season to continue to find an identity under Fernando Gago, who came over from Boca Juniors. And I think it will be 2-1. 2-1 Necaxa beating Atlanta United this evening.
I mean, it's fair. I was probably wildly optimistic. I said 1-1 with Atlanta winning on penalties, finally. But the thing is, that doesn't also do you much good either, because the way that this tournament is laid out, goal differential will almost certainly become a thing to get out of your group, because the groups are so different this year. You have to start stacking up the goal differential. Like last night, was it Puebla that won 3-0 over New York City? That easily puts them in really good standing if they win the rest of their games. But that's the thing. You essentially have to win all your games in your group by a couple of goals to give yourself some insurance to get out of the group. And then you go into the knockout stage, and it's like, all right, cool. Now we're playing regular soccer, but a draw and penalties is not going to help you a whole bunch. I will say this, too, about the grass, because I saw the comments Akil was saying about how other stadiums have commented, or players have commented about the grass over turf, and how it makes it bouncier during Copa America. That was one of the complaints from Argentina, which they kind of pissed me off because they just want to whine about everything. I don't like Argentina, but just so many complaints, man. Like, they were like, oh, it's like running on a trampoline. Like, dude, not every pitch is going to be this pristine, flat grass fairway surface. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
And that really irritated me last year. Like, I could see, for a match like this, like Atlanta, who is used to playing in this building but not on the surface, we'll see how it actually plays. But I don't want to hear any complaints from the players either way. I think it's like
they won the
just go
tournament.
play
So.
the game. Right. They went and won it. So it's like, what are you whining about?
Right. No, but yeah, we'll see we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be interesting. That's a good point you brought up. I will say too that a lot of these players, certainly on Lady United, but I'll say the Necaxa as well. They've played on grass their whole careers, except for here at Atlanta. Even though you're playing on grass, yes, you have the turf underneath, and yes, that will have an effect on what you see tonight. So I'll be interested to see how things play out. Brian's saying maybe see South American pitches. Yeah, those get pretty bad
Right.
shape.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, what are y'all complaining about, dude? Like, God, you go and you play for these world class clubs, and then it's like, oh, well, now we have to play on the fairway at Augusta National. No, get out of here with that crap, man. Just play the game.
Wasn't it Trinidad that was in terrible condition one year? Like, just waterlogged, just embarrassing. But yeah, I mean,
and then there was the one in Honduras, I think. That was really bad.
No, we have it good. We have it good here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But yeah. Any final thoughts? About 28 minutes till kickoff. Any final thoughts?
No, just I mean, I want to see this team play a full 90 minutes of good soccer. I want to see them come out of the locker room and actually act like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Please.
Same.
And I would like to see win, but maybe steps.
Get a few goals, hopefully. But that is it for us at Lady United. Necaxa, 7:30 kickoff. I think we'll start right at 7:30. That was 7:40. Like it's for MLS matches, but 7:30 kickoff for Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Probably will have spaces after the match. Also, patreon.com/Stars and Spikes. Join our Discord and get access to our watch along. We'll have that going on. Tommy is hosting that as well. But yeah, go to patreon.com/Stars and Spikes. If you aren't a member already, any membership tier will get you in there. And of course, Tyler will have his first reaction on starsandspikes.com. Henry will have his recap. And plus any other subways that come out the bat as well. Follow us on social media. I'm at SH Wrights. on X. SH writes that B-Sky, that SoCal Blue Sky. South at ATL Pilgrim everywhere. We are at Scarps and Letter and Spikes on X, scarpsandspikes.com on Instagram, or Blue Sky, Scarps and Spikes everywhere else. That's it for us.